Me in the Room podcast right now is Ken, King in the North, Murphy, 2-2 Bantamweight, fighting this Friday night, Combat Zone 71, Prevail in Manchester, New Hampshire, right in his backyard. Welcome, Ken. Thanks for coming on. I know you're cutting weight. I know you're at the last couple of days of getting your game plan together. Thanks for coming on, man. How you feeling, Bo?
Doing pretty good. Usually I'm fighting at flyweight, which since I've been getting a little older, it's been getting a little hard to cut down to. So I decided to go the opposite route and start lifting some more. It's easier for me to put on muscles, so I got a little bigger and filling out my frame to be a legit good-sized 135er.
Excellent. Now, fighting at the flyweight, you talk about, you're getting a little older in age. Was it always a tough weight cut? Were you always like a bigger flyweight, during your career?
Yeah, it's always been a pretty tough weight cut for me. I mean, like if worst came to worst, like a big show ever called or a big opportunity, I'll figure out a way. But it's not an easy cut by any means for me. Even 35, I still have to cut a little bit. I mean, so I'm trying to just be a little healthier. I've seen a lot of guys in the UFC go up in weight class, and it seems it's better to be quicker and stronger, a little bit more suited to your natural weight, rather than trying to suck down completely. It seems like you can't perform as well on fight night, so I decided to go up and try it out, and I'm feeling great and ready to rumble.
Excellent. Now, your last fight was a catchweight fight, first round submission win at Combat Zone. Was that their last card that you were on? Was it the last card or the card before?
I think it would have been the one before that.
All right. You great first round. Your first fight, I think, of 2019. First round finish. How'd you feel back in that cage for the first time in 2019?
Felt great. I went out there, felt really at home. I've really been developing my style of fighting and everything over the last year, and it's starting to really click on all cylinders. And I didn't get to show too much out there, but I didn't want to show too much either. I like to keep things a little bit of a secret, so that way I don't too much. So, but it was a great night. Went out there, I felt calm, collected, put them away in the first. And yeah, everything went smoothly, so I was really happy with it.
Excellent. Well, most of your MMA career was in the Combat Zone, held a title for them. How was the crowd? How'd you feel? How was the energy? And did you miss it? Is that something that getting in there, that's something that you miss?
Yeah, I mean, I always bring a big crowd, and it's always fun to perform in front of my friends and teammates and all that, especially in my backyard. I have traveled, to Mass and places like that, and it's fun to be in a different atmosphere, but it's also nice to be at home, having my friends, my family being able to get there, and just that general energy. It does up a notch, so I do like fighting in my own backyard. So I'm pretty excited to do it again this weekend.
Excellent. Now, the card that you fought on last, that, you had that great first round, you had trainer partners on there too, correct? How does that feel going into battle and having trainer partners kind of, because they're getting ready for the same card, so they're going through the weight cut, everything, the hard rounds like you are. How is it going into battle, and how's training camp knowing that you have other fighters that are kind of, I don't want to say suffering, but going through the same kind of, punishment that you're going through getting ready for a fight?
When it comes to fight camp, I mean, it's always nice because I guess misery loves company sometimes. When you're digging deep those last couple of days to week where you're starting to cut back really hard on calories and you're just getting in there and trying to beat yourself up every day so that way you don't get beat up in the cage. It does become a little overbearing, and it's nice to be able to share that load with people. Fight night, I like it as long as I'm the first one fighting. I won't lie, I try to mentally prepare myself, and it's hard to get there when I'm peeking around the corner.
Yeah.
And I'm doing good. Oh, what's going on?
Yeah.
So I like being the first, to focus on myself, and then once the fight's done, I can have a good time and cheer on my teammates. I believe on that card, my coach fought, which was pretty cool. So
excellent. And
I can cheer him on.
Excellent. And also, you corner a lot of the fighters that you train with. I mean, you're part of their corner. Do you corner them? Actually, have you cornered after you fought people that training partners that fought after you?
No, I've never done that. fight night, as hectic as it is,
Yeah.
I just couldn't imagine trying to fight and then just trying to run out there and have my mind collected to corner somebody else. I mean, if I'm not fighting, then yeah, it's all great.
Yeah.
But if I am fighting, I try not to corner just because I have a lot going on myself, and I like to fully give that my attention.
Excellent. Well, Ken, let's talk about the opponent you got here. Andreas Rodriguez actually was on the same card you were on. He had a win also that night. How did this fight come about? He's 3-0. Big name in the bantamweight, comes out of, I think he's managed by Tyson Chade. Trains with Rob Font and stuff like that. So there's kind of eyes on him. He fought on the same night as you. Was this matchup talked about in the back, or was this something that just came about getting this card ready?
It just came about, getting the card ready. I personally don't know him or anything like that. I was trying, fights that made sense record-wise. I'm 2-2, so I was looking for, somebody with 3 to 4 fights, and I was having a hard time. Like, I'd find somebody that was like 2-2 or something around there, 3-1, but like a lot of them were backing out close to the fights and everything like that. And they offered me this fight, and I know he's a tough kid who shows up. So that was one of the big reasons I took it. So that way I can get a fight in. I don't have to stress about, is he going to show up or is some kind of craziness going to happen? Like you said, he comes from a great camp. He trains with a lot of good people. So I knew it would be a good fight for me and a good fight for the fans. And we both, have a good night.
Excellent. Now, how long have you, how long have you been getting ready for this fight? How long have you known you were going to fight him and training camp getting ready for him?
I've been in and out of training camps, like I was saying, because I had a lot of people backing out.
Yep.
But I've been in training camp about 8 weeks, and I think maybe like 9 to 10 weeks I knew about the fight.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
So,
my summer
so
packed with.
Yeah, so that's new to you, Ken. Like you said, you got fights falling out. You're usually getting late notice opponents and fights falling out, like the week of and stuff like that. So it's been great that the stress level is down. You really haven't had to worry about that, getting this caliber of an opponent. You know what I mean? So how does that feel to not really have to worry and know this guy's going to show up? Because, it always has to be in the back of your mind if you've gone through it before, like, shit, like I'm getting ready, I'm selling tickets, I'm spending money out of my own pocket to train, changing my work hours. And this guy, you got to worry about the dude showing up, especially if they're out of state and all this and you don't know too much about. But that helps you out greatly, does it not?
It does. It definitely takes a stress relief off. Like, it allows me to train harder, so that way I'm not just like, oh, what's happening? Like, is this wishy-washy? But also more on the fact of just, like telling my friends and family and teammates and all that. And sometimes, everybody's got lives, so It's hard to be like, hey, would you mind dedicating your time over these few weeks to help me out? And then, nothing come from it, or being like, all right, well, I guess I'm going to have to postpone that. So can we, 2 weeks, you might be doing the same exact thing. People like, I got lives. So It's nice to be able to set up a camp, know what I need, get it going, have people be there for me. So that's really helped a lot. And, it's definitely less stressful knowing that I have a game opponent that is going to go down, and, it's going to be fun.
Excellent. Well, you don't know Andreas too much, but you got something in common. You fought the same opponent. You both you both finished them. So that's pretty good, you know what I mean? That you both kind of had the same opponent. There's something in common there. He's coming off a win the same night as you. I think a split decision, very close fight. Did you watch that fight? I'm sure you watched it because you're studying film on him and stuff like that. It was kind of a strategic fight, not much striking, a lot of cage control, a lot of cage against the cage fighting. Is this something you're expecting from him? I know he's got a quick knockout in there, but it seems like that's more of his game, kind of try to grind you and take you into deep waters. Is that something you're expecting out of him?
I expect a little bit of it, but I mean, I don't know how much he's going to want to do it, just because I think I'm probably like the first wrestler-based fighter he's fought. So if we are against the cage, it's a little bit more in my wheelhouse. So I expect him to he's a tall kid, so I expect him to be a little rangy. He does go against the cage, I expected a little, clinching here and there, and I'm comfortable with that. I train with tall guys, strong guys, but I just know, like, when it comes to the other fighters he's fought, none of them have the wrestling credentials or experience I have. So I think it's definitely going to be a different feeling for him. I'm not just a hold you against the cage kind of guy. Like, I want to put you on your back if I'm there, or I do want to cause damage. So, if that's where he wants to go, I'm comfortable there. But I imagine he'd probably want to keep it a little bit more on the feet, more standing, trying to use his range, which, is a smart move. But I've been training for that, and, I got some tricks for it.
Awesome.
So it should be good.
Excellent. Well, coming out of Team Link Hooksett, you got a lot of tricks in there. There's a lot of stuff, a lot of fighters in there, a lot of different fighters in there, a lot of great fighters. So you're getting work from all angles in that place: strikers, wrestlers, jiu-jitsu, everything in there. So great there, getting you ready for this fight. Ken, this is going to be your second fight of 2019. I mean, fights fall through. Your pro record and your pro career hasn't been, consistent through the years as far as getting fights. That's fights falling through, little injuries here and there that you've had. This fight, 2019, what are you looking for? Are you just looking to stay busy? You take out Andreas, 3-0 guy. You're above 500. You're 3-2. You just took out an undefeated dude, man. Where do you think you sit? And are you going to stay in there and get fights regularly? Do you want to stay on, that kind of regimen of maybe every 3 months or so getting a fight?
I'd like to. If everything goes smoothly with this one, then I'd like to fight sometime in fall, maybe like early winter, before Christmas. It's never fun to cut weight over the holidays. But I'd like to get something in there, and I think with the win over him, would do great for me. Like you said, he's a tough guy. He's 3-0. He's got a little push behind him and everything like that, which is great. After that, I think I'm probably in the upper middle tier of bantamweights, at least like record-wise and everything like that. Talent-wise, I'd like to think I'm up there, but I got to prove that to people and prove it to myself. And the only way to do that is to keep on winning, and that would be my plan. Just after that fight, find something that makes sense and keep it going.
Excellent. Well, Ken, you win this fight and you take out an undefeated fighter. That's 3 fights in a row. You're in the bantamweight division where you're calling home now, where you're going to be comfortable and where you're going to be a factor in that weight class. Man, what's left to do? We got 2 days. Actually, weigh-ins are on Thursday. Weigh-ins morning or afternoon?
It's actually at night.
Oh, Jesus. Is that good? Is that good or bad? Or you want, you don't need the extra time. You rather have it in the morning, the weigh-ins?
Personally, if I could choose, yeah,
right.
Definitely earlier the better, just because you get it out of the way, you have more time to replenish, more time to get liquids in you, food in you, and I think that's one of the bigger reasons. Like, I think I'm going to perform a lot better at 135, because 125, like, sometimes I look like a skeleton, and there was one or two times that was pretty hard to bounce back. Like,
yeah,
you could so much liquids back in you can only so much and give your muscles what they need.
Yeah.
So this one is not so much of a big cut for me, so I'll be able to bounce back a lot quicker. And also, I've been able to eat and eat more regularly and higher calorie count, so I can be able to work out harder, more muscle, more cardio. So you're going to see definitely a top form. Excellent.
Well, Ken, glad to see you, jumping back in there, starting to stay consistent, get these fights under your belt. And, you're victorious in this fight, Ken. Like I said, you're going to be 3-2. You took out an undefeated fighter out of a huge camp that a lot of eyes are on. So that's going to put you up there. So I would imagine, you're going to be able to kind of call the shots a little bit on what your path is and who you like to fight. You'll be able to throw some names out there and kind of pick and choose the top of the tier there to keep that progress going, man. So last thing, Ken, a couple of days left. I know you still got tickets to sell. You got a couple of teammates going to be on the card again with you, which is very exciting. Shout it out there, social media, thank yous, and any last words you want to say to New England before Friday night comes.
Social media wise, Facebook, Ken Murphy, Instagram, Tootsinator7. I know it's always a little, Team Link.
That's your shirt, by the way, brother. That's your shirt.
I'll have to give Carrie Kennison credit for that. She came up with the design.
Oh, she's doing a bunch of that now. She's making banners and stuff. So congratulations to her, and good things. The team's doing well. You're a great family. You're getting things done together.
Yeah. The only thing I will say on my social media, if you do try to look me up, my picture is of my tiny Chihuahua dog, so don't expect to see my face. It's kind of throws people off, but love my life. Can't lie. I want to thank all my teammates, everybody at Team Link. I've been training with Joey Gomez, Walter Catito, Miguel Cuevas. So I got tall guys, BJJ guys, left-handers, all tough people. One of my other good friends, Tim Lightfoot, should be fighting on a card.
Yep.
They've all been, really helping me. A lot of the BJJ guys like Tyler Chapney. But I'd like to thank all of them for, putting in their time and looking after me and giving me the rounds that I need so that I can perform the best of my abilities and try to get this win this Friday.
Excellent. Well, like I said, Ken, great to see you back. Great to see you going, having an opponent at this caliber to get you back in that game and get the eyes on you where they should be. Glad you're fighting at home, and it should be a blast. So, Ken, King in the North, Murphy, 2-2, ready Friday night, fighting Combat Zone 71, Prevail, 135-pound bantamweight division against Andre Rodriguez, 3-0. Huge New England matchup. Ken, thanks so much for giving me some time so close to fight now, bro. I appreciate it.
No stress, man. It's always a pleasure talking to you.
All right, my man. Good luck, and I'll see you. I'll be watching you fight Friday night, and ready to talk to you afterwards, bro.
Sounds good, my man.
All right, take care.